Hello, Al pals. This is Big Al. Welcome to Big Al Presents, my review of Spider-Man No Way Home, the latest in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I had a chance to watch it and wanted to share my thoughts on it, but I must warn you there are spoilers ahead. So, if you haven't seen this film and don't want to be spoiled, turn back now. Okay. With that being said, now on with my official review. After he is publicly revealed to be Spider-Man, Peter Parker seeks help from Doctor Strange to magically remove the world's knowledge of his identity. When the spell goes awry, Spider-Man finds himself facing enemies from throughout the multiverse. Directed by John Watts, Spider-Man No Way Home is an exciting superhero action adventure sure to delight fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's web-slinger, as well as the fans of the Raimi and Webb Spider-Man films. The MCU filmmakers continue to demonstrate what has been apparent for over a decade. They are masters of the craft. Regarding fight choreography, special effects, sound, and other technical aspects, the film is another feather in the MCU cap. The story, which continues after the reveal of Peter Parker's identity in 2019's Spider-Man Far From Home, is filled with humor and sentimentality, though at times the emotional pacing seemed uneven. Poignant moments for characters are bypassed to speed to the next action, joke, or plot point, giving viewers little time to see the emotional reactions of characters. The death of a major character should have been given more substance than shown. Not that it was overlooked, just lacking more punch. The returning MCU cast, for the most part, primarily Zendaya as quote unquote MJ, Jacob Batalon as Ned, Marissa Tomei as Aunt May, and Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan all gave fine performances. However, the most notable performances were from other film universes. Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus and Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn, aka Green Goblin, are fantastic and prove to be the best villains of any Spider-Man franchise. Rhys Ifans as Lizard, Jamie Foxx as Electro, and Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman were wonderful to see again, but with so many villains returning, they get lost in the mix. Bringing in Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock is phenomenal, and hopefully, Daredevil will soon be back in action. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield appearing as their universe's Peter Parker was a thrill, and each seemed more than comfortable fitting into Spidey's uniform again. Garfield especially was great when conveying his loss of Gwen, and then his moment of self-redemption during the final fight. Maguire and Garfield also had excellent chemistry with Tom Holland, as well as each other, and the dynamic between the three Peters was fascinating to see. Now on to Tom Holland and his titular web slinger. Holland is a good Peter Parker, but putting him with the other two only showed that he is the inferior version. Many may disagree, and that's okay. To be clear, Holland's portrayal is fine and is in no way wanting. He is simply outparkered by Maguire and Garfield. After all he has been through, you would think the MCU Spider-Man would be less whiny. His battling with Doctor Strange seemed more like a tantrum of a child rather than philosophical disagreement over predestined fate of the villains. Had the writers instilled a bit more maturity into Parker, it would have served the character better. Spider-Man No Way Home is an entertaining superhero film and will be another blockbuster for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Fans who have stayed with the franchise will be well rewarded with outstanding action and interesting characters, though the most interesting are from other franchises. It is overall a well done film, but some of the choices they made for the character of Spider Man were ill advised. 3 out of 5 stars. Well, that is my official review of Spider Man No Way Home. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, of course, some final rambling thoughts as I usually go through. 3 out of 5 stars is a good review. So, anybody out there who thinks I'm giving it less than it deserves, 3 out of 5 for me is good. And if you are out there sharpening your knives because of what I said about Tom Holland being the lesser of the Spider Men, it's like being an all-star baseball player, but you're on a team with Lou Gehrig and Joe DiMaggio. Okay, Tom Holland is good. As I said, there's nothing really wrong with him or his version of Spider-Man, aside from some of the writer choices that they made this film. I think he's fine. I just think that the other ones are better. Tobey Maguire is the mold, and Garfield. I would have put Holland over Garfield, except they gave Garfield some fantastic scenes in this movie. So that is my reasoning. And if you disagree, that is fine. We can disagree. We can all get along. No need to get up in arms about who's a better Spider-Man. Come on. It's not that important in the world. Overall, I really like this film. I truly did. I had some issues with Spider-Man kind of really being whiny, and it got on my nerves. I don't want to. Like, oh, for God's sake, Peter, shut up. Be a man. You've been to space. You've battled Thanos, for God's sake. You need to show a little bit more maturity, and they have not given him an ounce of maturity since all the stuff he's been through. And I think that just was that just something that bugged me. If it didn't bug you, good on you. Glad you enjoyed it. But I did really like the film. I thought it was great to see the other Spider-Man. It was especially great to see Alfred Molina return as Doc Ock. I thought he gave a great performance. I don't see anyone else being able to play that part now. I just think he has put his stamp on it. And another huge thing about this film I loved was Charlie Cox returning as Matt Murdock. His one little scene, to me, was probably the best. I think the best scene of the movie, if you ask me. Uh, when he catches that thing, oh come on! If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It was fantastic. But anyway, that is my official review. I do hope you liked it. I hope you don't hold it against me that I don't think Tom Holland is the superior Spider-Man. He, just my opinion. And you know what? We can still get along. Nothing wrong with that. I hope that if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, Brig Al Presents, I hope you do so. More reviews, rewatches, and rambles in the weeks and months to come. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share the video with those who you think might get something out of it. And as usual, whatever you decide to watch, be it Spider-Man or something else, I just hope you enjoy it. And until next time, I hope everyone takes care and don't hate me because of what I said about Tom Holland. I like Tom Holland. I really do. I think he's fine. He's fine. He's okay. He's pretty good. He's just not as good as McGuire and Garfield. So deal with it. Goodbye, everybody. Till next time.